My brother and sister, make una hear my story. The election when they come, no be cash and carry. No sell your votes, no sell your PVC, no sell your conscience, no sell your future.
Polling units no be market o, but bad politicians don't turn am to bureau dey change your vote for your money. But that one bad o, because if you sell your vote, you sell your future. Your PVC na ticket to job, ticket to better health, ticket to power, ticket to better road, ticket to better life for you and your pikin dem. Dem dey try to bribe INEC officials too. Dem dey try snatch ballot paper and boxes, and when dem enter power, dem go recover their money and forget about you. When you accept their bribe, you lose the right to talk anymore. I beg, make we no sell our vote, make we no sell our PVC. Vote your conscience on election day. This message now from INEC. INEC, we dey make your vote to count, and our democracy stand gidigba.
No sell your future.
Good morning, viewers. Welcome to NOA River State Dialogue, a platform where we weekly sensitize citizens on government policies, programs, and activities. We bring to you weekly national trends, and like you know, our nation is going through activities right now, ranging from the redesigned Naira note to the forthcoming election and the forthcoming census. About the redesigned Naira note, Nigerians are asking, why now? What's the purpose? Why are the new currencies not in adequate circulation? Well, we've done 2 previous episodes on the redesigned Naira notes, bringing in experts to discuss this topic. So if you still have questions about the redesigned notes, do well to watch our last 2 episodes. You'll get the answers to all of your whys. Today we'll be discussing 2023 general elections, PVC collection. There have been a lot of pre-electoral activities going on. And with me today in the studio to discuss the topic, we have Mr. Mark Osuji from my left, HOD Publicity and Voter Education, INEC River State. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, NOA Nigeria River State Chapter, for having me. My name is Mark OSULOR and not Mark Osuji.
Sorry, sir. And by his side, we have our very own Miss HELEN AMUCHEAZI, Assistant Director, PRS, NOA River State. Welcome, ma.
Thank you for having me.
By her side, we have Mr. Frank ENE-AWAJI, Public Policy Analyst. Good to have you, sir.
Thanks so very much.
So, viewers, let's get to the topic. So we are aware that there has been an extension in the deadline for the collection of PVC. What's the new deadline, sir?
Yes, the collection of PVC will start, the one that we devolve to the wards, we start from the 22nd. We are supposed to have stopped earlier. Now we're reverting back to till 29th of this January. That is when we will stop. This is all about letting people be included in the exercise of 2023 elections, so that those that did not collect their cards earlier could do so before we stop issuance of these PVCs. It is all gearing towards inclusivity to make every sector and every electorate to be part of the election of 2023. So
viewers, you've heard him. If you've not collected yours, do well to collect before the new deadline. Ms. HELEN AMUCHEAZI, what role have NOA played in all of these pre-electoral activities, from the registration to the collection, ma'am?
Thank you for the question. First and foremost, in line with NOAA's mandates of sensitizing, reorienting, educating, and mobilization of the Nigerian citizenry, the agency have in so many ways been able to reach out to the wider public on the PVC registration and PVC collection. First and foremost, you will be able to appreciate the agency's role or contribution towards this by understanding the structure of the agency. The agency is structured in such a way that it has a far-reaching outlook. It can get to the grassroots. We will have the staff span across the 36 local 36 states of the Federation, including FCT, and the 774 local governments of the Federation. And we have the community orientation and mobilization officers down at the local government. And we have various platforms through which this sensitization and enlightenment have been ongoing. So the agency have been on ground educating people. There have been massive voter education, lots of collaborations with stakeholders, and we have been achieving results.
Thank you very much.
And more so, we collaborate with them in information dissemination to the grassroots, to the stakeholders in the hinterland, the community, because NOA is our critical stakeholder. We collaborate with them at the local government levels for all the going concern about voter education to reach all the electorates that are expected to vote during elections.
Okay. So NOA has been doing a lot in the pre-electoral activity.
Sure.
Mr. Frank, how would you analyze the readiness of Nigerians to participate in the 2023 general election based on their turnout for PVC collections?
Well, first of all, I want to say that Nigerians were actually out to register, which they have done. Now the duty is for them to collect what they have done, which is the voters card. Thank God for INEC, because INEC is the big masquerade that will dance. We have to watch how INEC is going to dance and how to applaud it and mark it, whether it is successful or not successful. But for us and for me, the INEC issuance of voters card to the people, I want to say, is on course. Even when there was need for a kind of consign, INEC was able to address it. Because in this society, we need to begin to improve on our standard of activities. Public activities should not also be left as if it doesn't matter. And when such is done, it does not help society to grow. And that for over the years, that was what was taking place in this country. But INEC was very swift. Even when there was a lot of hiccups in terms of collection, we've heard on radio. For me, I visited some places where people were so many to collect their voters card, and we saw few INEC staff on ground. But when the complaint was made, INEC in a way was so proactive in terms of sending people and also improve on the time. For instance, I knew I'm not here to eulogize INEC. Like I went to my ward in Anthony. When I saw that it was difficult, I had to intervene by joining the INEC officer on ground to say, look, let's do it this way. And before you know, people got their PVCs. And when also the issue of time was a problem, I got to know that INEC met in Abuja and discussed the way forward. And there was a kind of what we call elevation of the issue of collection of voters card. But my concern is Nigerians oftentimes engage in what we call fire brigade approach. That should not be done in this dispensation, because nobody should sit on the fence. Like I keep writing, don't tell me, oh, we need change. Our politicians, we are going to be part of the process. And so for now, this forum is to tell the society, the public, the masses, the citizens who have registered and have not collected their voters card should go, because INEC made it easy this time around, even to our unit, because I was able to go to my unit to tell people get it, and they brought to our unit in my village, and people were collecting it. Even when they saw that it will become difficult, they have to also make sure that it will go to the ward level before it will go to what we call the local government level. So for me, INEC in a way has streamlined everything to meet the need of the citizen, because if people don't get their voters card ready, what will be the usefulness of the election? So for me, INEC is on course without missing word. INEC is trying.
So viewers, you've heard Mr. Frank. Let's not use the fire brigade approach. Get yours now that there's still time, so all of us can get our PVCs before the deadline. Right now, we want to join our correspondent from Akukotoru, Mr. Abiye Senibo. Over to you, Mr. Abiye.
Thank you, presenter, for having me. Today, the NOA River State Dialogue is discussing the topic 2023 General Elections and PVC collections. And to discuss this topic with me is Mr. Victor James Yusuf. He's a copper who is dispensing, giving out the PVC in Ward 13 in Asantoro local government area. Yusuf, what do you have to say about the PVC collection in this work?
Concerning the PVC collection in Akukutoro LGA, Ward 13 inside which I am distributing cards, they are of three sets. They have the new card, the old card, and the incident card. The incident card is the card that people might have transferred or cards that must have gotten damaged and replaced back to the local government. For the aspect of the collection, people have been turning up, like the first week, people have been turning up massively to collect their cards. But the extension period that they gave, majorly is the incident card that have been coming from. And there are still more new cards that have not been collected. And there are more people to come and collect. The cards they have collected is even lesser compared to the ones they have not collected. So there's still a lot of cards that are yet to be collected in this world.
Thank you, Mr. James Yusuf. My name is Abiye Senwo, reporting from Ward 13, Akukutoro local government area for NOA River State Dialogue. It's over to you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Abiye. Viewers, you heard our correspondent. A lot of cards have not been collected. The ones that are left with them are even more than the ones we've collected. So we should try and pick up these cards. The elections are just by the corner. Nigerians should try to perform their civil duty by picking up those cards so we all can vote in the person who will lead us for the next 4 years. So, sorry sir, can a third party pick up the PVC for someone who is currently not present but wishes to be around during the election?
Well, the law, the extant law guiding our policy and regulations of conduct of elections and the processes in lieu of conduct of elections in 2023 prohibits a third party collecting PVCs for another person. Section 16 of the Electoral Act has made it possible that if you are seen with a valid PVC of another one, that you will be arrested and the law will take its course because of the action, the court you take it, or because of the action you took. Is punishable as an electoral offense and is punishable by law. It is forbidden in our extant laws for anybody to collect PVC in process for anyone. And secondly, the PVC is a proprietary right of INEC. According to Section 21 of the Electoral Act, we provide these PVCs for people to use to exercise their franchise. And if that is done, or if the card is misplaced, or the card is defective, they will still revert back to our commission for renewal in the sense that we're going to do reprinting. So the public that is using it, the electorate that is using it to vote, we're holding it in trust for INEC. They are not the owners. We have a proprietary right over the cards, so you cannot pick for someone else. Yes.
Or is there any arrangement for physically challenged persons who cannot come to the census to pick up?
That is why we devolved to the ROAs, registration areas and the wards, so that they can get closer to the marginalized group. The marginalized group connotes this physically challenged people. They don't use physically challenged as the nomenclature attached therein in defining their particular stage. You use people living with disabilities.
Okay.
Because they are able, they are just because of the occurrence of such a mishap on them. Those that are living with disabilities, the women, the youth that has the recalcitrant nature in following all our programs, we are taking the cards closer to them so that they can pick it. That is why we reverted to the wards to issue these cards up till the 22nd of January, then we had to get back to the local government offices of INEC, where we issued these cards the 29th of January.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Ms. Helen, is there any activity going on in National Orientation Agency to ensure the 2023 election goes smoothly?
Yes, of course. Part of the things that is going on also, part of the activities, what we are doing now, we are sensitizing and educating the public. The arousing the consciousness of the public is one very significant role that the agency has been playing over the years. So, you see, every time, because the agency understands that if there must be a change, then citizens must drive the process. And that's why each time we hold sessions like this, we talk to people about what is required, their rights and their privileges, their obligations and their responsibilities. This is part of what is ongoing as we speak. Now, secondly, there have been platforms that the agency has established also over the years, and it's been far-reaching. We have collaborations with various stakeholders, civil society organizations, we have with students groups, youth groups, traditional institutions, market women, and so on and so forth. And each time we go out, it's just to sensitize them, educate them, and we also get feedback. You must understand that the feedback mechanism of NOA is one very important aspect of the agency, which I think other agencies might not have, because we communicate government policies, programs, and activities to the people, and then we'll elicit their feedback and take it to the government and other relevant quarters. And that is exactly what you're doing. You just saw the respondents from the field, and they are just giving you the observations. And of course, we are acting on it, and the INEC person is here. The other discussant is also here. And at the end of the day, we put heads together and we'll come out with something beautiful. All is geared towards transforming Nigeria. And remember, the citizens are expected to drive the process. That's why we want to get everybody involved. This is the essential role of NOA.
Thank you very much, Ma. Who would like to join our correspondent from Adon in local government area, Grace Opusonju? Over to you, Ma.
Patience Joseph, presenter, NOA River State Dialogue. This is Grace Opusonju, reporting from Andoni local government area. The topic is 2023 general elections, the need for PVC collections. PVC is permanent voters card issued by INEC to registered voters. To throw more light on the issue is Dikin Monday Long John. Sir.
Good day, everybody. My name is Dikin Monday Long John, staff of Ministry of Education, Andoni Zonal Office, Inglo. Elections are used to change leadership. The 2023 general elections are by the corner, and you need to collect your voters card so that you can use it to vote. It is one thing to register with INEC for your PVC, and another thing to collect it. Without your PVC, you cannot vote for candidate of your choice on election day. Without your PVC, the support for your candidate is useless. So it is advisable you go and collect your PVC so that you can use it on election day to vote for candidate of your choice. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Patience, over to you.
Thank you very much, Ma. You've heard. The only way you can vote in this election is when you have your PVC. So we are laying emphasis on it. Try to pick your PVC before the deadline. We are still with you, Mr. Mark. What pre-electoral activity is INEC involved in at the moment, aside PVC issuance?
Yes, pre-electoral activities are so much. I'm going to elucidate what we've done earlier, prior to what we are doing now. We started by expanding voters' access to polling units, so that we will be able to give access, because that's when it was done was in 1996. We are having it so cumbersome during elections to let people vote. So the commission decided to, via GeoMap, electronically create polling units from the voting points we had already, and we made a tremendous achievement as regards that. After that, we did a continuous voter registration exercise, we did a display, we did a screening of those that registered via what we call ABIS, Automated Biometric Identification System. Then we selected the valid voters, We spoiled the register as well to include the new registered voters. And electronically, Section 62 of the Electoral Act of 2022 has empowered INEC to maintain electronic register. That is where the BVAS, the Biometric Voter Registration System, will stand upon to accredit people on election day. They will be voters. So right now, we are screening the ad hoc staff to know those that have applied to do the work on election day. After that, we are going to train them for the work proper on election day. Every local government electoral officer of INEC is now right away screening those that applied online, the presiding officers, the assistant presiding officers, while those that applied to be SPOs are going to be screened at the head office of INEC in a date to be given to them within this week or next week. So that is what we are doing now. We are getting closer, 90% prepared for the elections, and this election of this 2023 is going to be a different ballgame because there will be no space to rig, there will be no space to cheat, and there will be no space to do anything that the law does not allow us to do, because every registered voter is going to pass through the biometric voter accreditation system, so that, and we are adopting what is called simultaneous voting and simultaneous accreditation and voting system, whereby you get accredited and you vote as well. And the results of the day shall be remitted via the BVAS to what is called INEC Result Viewing Portal for the public to see what we are doing. Then the result of the election as well will be published and placed in the polling unit, where that's the first instance of casting the vote via Form EC60E. So there is no way the election will be rigged or any undue influence shall come to hoodwink those working at the polling unit, because we have been meeting with the ICES, Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security, and most of the early indications of election risk management has been tabulated, and we have known all the flashpoints, working on it. And in fact, I'm assuring the public that the election of 2023 is going to be a different ballgame, and we're already prepared to serve the masses, to bring out all the performances of INEC gearing towards conduct of credible and acceptable elections.
Thank you very much, sir. You've heard, viewers, INEC has been involved in a lot of activities, and you've also heard that there's an activity that could benefit citizens. For those who registered for ad hoc staff, screening is ongoing, like you've heard him say, so do ensure to get screened so you participate in the forthcoming election. Thank you very much. Sir, Mr. Frank, sir, from the activities that have been ongoing, do you predict 2023 general election to be a transparent one?
Well, if you want me to answer, issue of yes or no, I will say yes. But yeah, I'll say yes. But election anywhere in the world always have an issue. Sorry, not a Nigerian issue. Like the word really is not a Nigerian language. It's not my language. It's an English language, wherever it was coined from. But one thing I know, the human elements, the beavers may not have any problem. My concern as a Nigerian, following what is happening, I believe that if the laws that are guarding INEC are not violated by the human elements, nothing will go wrong. And again, not only about politicians, because the influence of some politicians of INEC can undermine the expectations of Nigerians, which in a way will undermine the expected results of INEC. Like for me, I believe that considering what INEC is doing now, the election will be transparent. But I also pray that we should not also interfere with the system, the machines, because I was told, I'm not an expert in computer, that garbage in, garbage out. So those who are in the server, who are in the database of INEC, should also be transparent so that the yearnings of Nigerians will be achieved, because the moment the result is not transparent, you have problems. So for me as a Nigerian who have seen what is happening in other places in the world, even America, the election up to now, The US election is still undergoing some series of scrutiny that Russia intervened in American election. So if Russia can intervene, is it Nigeria they will not intervene? So my concern as a citizen of this country who wants things to be done properly is that for too long a time, our elections have become issue of suspicion. Oh, we don't even believe in what we have. So every Nigerian should get involved. Politicians should be honest. Those in INEC officers should be honest. Those of us who are the masses should also be honest and help this country to have a kind of a sigh of relief in conducting the election of 2023, which we have been waiting for too long a time. And for those of us who are in the society, we believe that if everybody will have a different mindset from the past, this election will be the best, more than the one of 1993 when I was then a man. So I pray that every of us that you ask me, I'll give you my answer, emphatic yes, that the result of this year will be credible, but it depends on how we conduct ourselves.
Thank you very much, sir. Viewers, let's join our correspondent from Abuadua, where we have Mr. Ben Owayi Uturu standing by. Over to you, Mr. Ben.
Good morning, Mrs. Patient Joseph. I am Ben Owayi Uturu, reporting from Ayama, Abuadua local government area. This morning, we are reporting on the issue, the need for collection of our PVCs, permanent voters card. And as we know, the 2023 general election is just by the corner. And when you're talking about elections, you're talking about PVC, permanent voters card, because the permanent voters card is the only means of every individual to vote in the elections. This morning, we have a pedagogist who is going to tell us more on the need of the collection of the PVC. He is Mr. July Idioye. July Idioye is here to tell us more on the need. Thank you. July, you're welcome.
Yes, thank you very much. I am July Idioye, as he rightly said. There is really need to collect your PVC. PVC is your right. That is the important passport that you will use. It is a document that you will use to ensure that you vote out bad governance. The PVC is not only, though it is the major thing for the work of the PVC is to use for voting, but there is another area where the PVC works. Even in the bank, you can use it in the bank. When you get to the bank for any transaction, they might ask you, if you don't have a national ID card, they will ask you to bring your PVC. So the PVC is very, very important for collection. Everybody at the age of you have registered, you must go and collect your PVC so that you will be able to have the government of the day that will make the people happy. Our faces will smile. It is the PVC that will make us to that will make us to vote out the bad governance. Thank you very much.
Yes, we have heard from him the need for collecting our PVC. It goes beyond the elections, but the election is paramount because of the state of the nation. Every hand must be on deck to make sure that the 2023 general election comes out successfully for us to vote in people that will man this nation and man it well. Over to you, Mrs. Joseph, at the studios. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ben. Viewers, you've heard the correspondence. The PVC is the only power you have in the forthcoming election. You can't go there without it and quarrel that you want to vote or do anything. So if you want change in our country, if you want the leader of your choice, do well to pick that PVC. That's the only voice you have in the forthcoming election. So viewers, we want to open our phone lines. In case you have contributions, you can call. Try to be civil. Try to keep your comments civil. The phone line is +234 91 66 58 7355. I call it again. +234 91 66 587355. We want to take a few comments before we continue. Faith, thank God. Thank you so much for watching. Mr. Charles Williams Opara. All hands must be on deck in sensitizing the citizens on PVC collection. It should not be left for NOA and INEC alone if we must achieve optimal results. Thank you so much for that contribution. Mrs. Christy Oma, thank you so much for watching. Samuel Archibald, thank you for watching. Bekimbo Williams said, INEC, well done by getting to the ward level for collection of PVC. Really improved the process and has put confidence on the populace. Mr. Ben Owai, thank you so much for watching. Mrs. Rosemary Abenhart said, the success of the forthcoming 2023 general election depends on the commitment and loyalty of INEC staff to this nation, Nigeria, or to their pockets, because this is time for the corrupt staff that are there to make extra money to dent the image of the commission. I want to use this medium to appeal to INEC staff especially and the electorates not to sell their conscience for money, but vote rightly, wisely, and also don't change the figures. Okay. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
This is Mr. Chiwe Opara, calling from Port Harcourt.
Thank you for calling, sir.
Let me appreciate you and the discussants on the platform for doing a very good job for discussing for talking about the 2023 general election and the need for PVC connection. I keep telling people that election is one democratic process that citizens need to hold to a very high extent, because it is a process that gives majority of the citizens an opportunity to participate in decision-making process. So citizens must not toy with it. In fact, I'm even of the view that every election year is worth celebrating. Election is worth celebrating. Every election year, citizens need to celebrate that year because it is an opportunity for them to participate in decision-making process. It is an opportunity for them to elect the leadership of their country. It is an opportunity for them to bring the desired change. Election does not necessarily mean, because election is not war. Election is not, it does not necessarily mean that you are fighting against opposition or your opponent. Even if the incumbent government has done well, there is need for election, and that is one of the cardinal principles of democracy. Periodic election, because as a human being or as humans, our aspiration changes. It is dynamic. So there is need for periodic election. There is need for the citizens to participate. And the only way to participate in election is by citizens obtaining their permanent voter card. That is, those of them that have attained the age of 18 years and above as provided by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So citizens need to take this election very serious. We cannot afford to fail. So that is why it baffles me. I am astonished that up till now, large volume of PVC are still stuck in the INEC custody. So citizens, we need to be politically conscious. We need to wake up. We need to take this election very serious. We need to move on to the work and pick up our activities. To unlike what people are doing, God will continue to bless you. More especially the National Orientation Agency. You people are
Thank you very much.
To know that they need to pick up their opportunity and then go out there to vote and vote in the right leadership that will move this country to a greater height.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chinwe, for calling. Viewers, he did make a lot of important points, stating that every election year is a celebration year. He gives you the right to choose your own leader. He also stated that election is not war. As you go to vote, have that at the back of your mind, that election is not war. We all have our different parties in mind. Election is not war. Go there, vote, and leave. He also expressed his disappointment over the volume of PVCs still lying idle. Try to pick your PVC so you can vote in the 2023 general election. Okay, Ma, you want to?
Please, just a little addition to what the caller who just called in said. It's very important to emphasize that the PVC, that is the permanent voters card, is the legal tool with which you can change the status quo, just in case you want to. First and foremost, if you do not have this PVC, it's also necessary to understand that it's like disenfranchising yourself. You are disenfranchising yourself, and aside that, you are self-marginalizing yourself. So, self-marginalization and disenfranchising your own self is something that is not good at all for anyone. If you do not like what you are seeing and you need a change, the change must necessarily start with you, and that is what the agency has been emphasizing over the years. You want a change, then start from yourself to bring out the change, and the change will necessarily come with you going to the necessary center to pick your PVC so that you don't disenfranchise yourself and you don't marginalize yourself.
Thank you very much, Ma.
I want to stand on this premise too to let the Nigerian people know that with the PVC, you can vote credible candidates into governance. A candidate that can observe the laws of our fatherland, especially the Chapter 2 of the Constitution, where the fundamental state principles of policies are being effected, whereby amenities are being given to the electorates, the citizenry of the country, whereby good health, education, and all other infrastructures can be provided for the citizenry of the country, and more so, leaders that can observe the Chapter 4 of the Constitution, the fundamental human rights, where that is sacrosanct, where people are being respected, the dignity of man is respected, and the rule of law shall be obeyed. So without your PVC, you cannot effect this change. That is why INEC is saying, pick your PVC and that is, effect a change in governance. If what is obtainable now is not good, in your own perception, you can equally effect a change in governance by going to where you will vote with your PVC and cast your vote. A vote will count in this election. There is no vote that will not count. Section 47 sub 2 and 50 sub 2 of the Electoral Act of 2022 has made it possible for electronic devices to be used in accreditation of voters and remittance of results. That is where I stand to say that each vote must count. And all the election officials that are going to work on election day are being trained for optimum performance. If they are not trained, they cannot use the beavers. And if they are not trained very well, they cannot conduct themselves in the manner the law wants, so that people can vote effectively without duress or undue influence on the election day. That is why every sector of the media is clamoring for everybody now that is of a voting age that has not collected his or her voter's card to go and collect it before the end of 29th of January 2023.
Thank you very much, sir. Viewers, before the call came in, we were on a comment from Mrs. Rosemary Abihat. We want this comment addressed. She said the success of the forthcoming 2023 general election depends on the commitment and loyalty of INEC staff. What do you have to say about that, sir?
Yes, of course, it's the sine qua non to every electoral process. Commitment and loyalty is part of our ethics, and it's part of all the things we do according to the condition of service of the Commission. So if you do anything against the extant laws that provided for the organization of any electioneering activity, you will answer for it. And there is disciplinary actions ranging from dereliction of duty, ranging from collection of money on election day, ranging from being partisan, ranging from being biased. There must be consequences on actions you take on election day as an ad hoc staff of INEC. Meanwhile, we that are going, the staff of the Commission, we are playing a supervisory role, because when we delegate, you supervise to achieve results. Because it is that supervision that will now enhance optimum results on whatever thing you are doing. And meanwhile, for the wish of the masses to be so sacrosanct, we must protect the votes. And while we are protecting the votes, we use all government paraphernalia, all government forces, and all of our critical stakeholders, especially information dissemination, collection of information via the INEC monitoring and support center, that is the situation room, whereby we watch whatever thing that is happening at the field and be able to detail or command any force to curb such action before happening. Then these actions range from election violence. It ranges from election free, which connotes intimidation, which will not allow people to come out to vote because of their propaganda that is going to be fake, disinformation and misinformation, and fake news that is going to be carried out. We have our interagency consultative committee on election security. We meet each time. Periodically, we have been meeting so that all these early indications of violence and all election risk management are being discussed upon. So from the situation room, we will control everything that will happen on the election day. That is why I'm assuring every citizenry of the country that this election is going to be a different ballgame. The staff we are training, and we are going to train them up to the mid of February before embarking on the actions of the time they are being trained for. That is election day, come 25th of February and 11th of March.
Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Frank, from your observation on INEC's activity and the technologies they've put in place for the 2023 election, would you say there will be no rigging in this election?
There will be no rigging, there will be rigging. I want to say it that way. The issue is this, that by my little way of writing on issues of our public life, it depends on the way we change our attitude, the way we want things to be done. For me, I am of the opinion that this election will be like what I saw in France last year when they conducted the presidential election in France. I will be like what I saw in America last year in November, what was the midterm election. If we actually change our orientation, change our attitude towards national activities, but this is national, one of the best national activities that will usher in change and development that we have been hearing for too long a time. There will be no rigging if we don't want it. There will be rigging if we want it. It's not a machine. Like for instance, when the man at the database allows something that's supposed to be there to enter, what happens? It will lead to controversy. So my concern as a citizen of this country, who wants it to be done properly, let the INEC staff, let the politicians, let those of us who are the voters play roles that will give us what we have been yearning for, not to play hanky-panky. Because for me, the election that we are seeing today will level of consciousness in the land. I feel it will be one of the best elections ever held in this country. So there is need for collective effort, for collective even sense of reasoning. That look, we need to change the way we behave in this country, because, like thank God, there's not too much issue of carrying of ballot boxes. I mean, that will be minimized. But for too long a time, like today, I was somewhere talking to people, UK, Australia, and some part of Answer, they have issued the issue of what we call threat alert to the city in Nigeria because of our election. Violence cannot human elements say no to violence. Like now, we have seen political parties campaigning. We have seen violence. We need to stop it. These are caused by human beings, by Nigerians, not foreigners. Like I just said somewhere too. No foreigner will build this country for us. And the way to build this country is by election. If we get our election right, I want to let you know, this country will go somewhere. Like issue of tribunal. So don't think that it's only in Nigeria that will go to court after election. It's not true. Even in an advanced society, like last year, I saw it in one of the states in America, going to court, governorship aspirant, American candidate, going to go to contest the result of the election. So if somebody can go to court also. So for me, we need to conduct ourselves properly and go out and vote. Like this of collection voters card. For me, somebody who is not working in the society, I want Nigerians to go out and get their voters card. Don't stay on the fence. Don't be, we are praying. Me, I also pray. Some of us are fasting for Nigeria. Fasting without going to collect a voters card will not change this country. We need human activities that are genuine for the quest we have been aiming for, to embark, to be on board in Nigeria. So for me, there will be no reading if you don't want, and there will be reading if you want.
Viewers, you've heard him. It's a case of collective effort.
Let me start from where you stop. On the receipt of materials, both sensitive and non-sensitive, it will be recorded in what is called Form EC 25A, whereby the state agents of all political parties will append their signature on supervising and making sure that what we have received is the actual material. It trails down to the local government area, where they can sign the booklet of receipt of material that is called Form EC 60D. That is the audit trail. Party agents are going to sign and equally view the beavers to know whether there is any certain number of a serial number or any number already imputed in that beavers. That is making sure, that is the clarity of what they are talking about. And if that is done, they will append their signature to ascertain and to let all of us know that they supervise the materials INEC people brought before elections. That is number one. And they have tripartite checks in all we do. Even those that remit the result from the beavers after elections to the INEC result viewing portal are being checked by people that are even instituted by the commission to do that function. Then all those that do vote buying are being checked by our collaboration with EFCC and ICPC on election days to check those that are doing vote buying. Even those that are going to collect the result are being equally checked by all our measures. So there is no how you will rig this 2023 election. And Mohamed Buhari has done his best by his appendage of his signature on this bill that culminated into being Electoral Act of 2022, and that is where he got it all right, because our electoral process is going to be very, very clear and crystal clean this time for a good conduct of elections in Nigeria. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you very much, sir. We have a comment here for Mr. Mark Osul. I'm suggesting to INEC that they should upgrade the issuing of PVC on the spot in the next 4 years, just like the bank issue ATM cards. I believe it's possible. From Mr. Abiye Senibo.
Yes, they should applaud the stage we are now, because Nigeria is a very big heterogeneous society, and for us to have reached to this particular point, it means we are making progress. I promise Abiye Senibo that between now and 2027, there's going to be a tremendous change in the electoral process, because we either go electronic or we go more than electronic in our electioneering activities. Thank you, Abiye.
So from Mr. Douglas Madis, I must commend INEC for reaching out to the electorates for PVC collection at the ward level. They should also ensure that election materials get to all units for the electorates to exercise their franchise in 2023 election. He already answered that. Mr. Samuel Archibald said, PVC with INEC is not your own until you collect it. When you collect it and did not use it, it is still like you don't have it. So collect your PVC and use it to vote on the election day. Then it has served its purpose. God bless Nigeria. God bless you too, Mr. Samuel. You've heard him. PVC with INEC is not your own. It's INEC's property. So do well to pick it so you can use it on the election day. Mr. Maxa.
Yes, ma'am.
Is voting by proxy allowed?
You cannot vote by proxy. It means you have not been here with us. I am telling you that there is what is called accreditation on election day.
Yeah, a lot of persons are still asking.
You must make yourself available before the presiding officer that will issue the ballot paper to you for you to append their thumbprint on it. Then before that voting, you must be accredited by APO1 via your PVCs. And this PVC is a tool that you plug into the beavers and we check your face and your fingerprint will be collected for proper accreditation to be done. Before this is done, you will be in line in orderly manner and the preference shall be given to the marginalized group, people living with disability, women, nursing mothers, aged people, and equally, very many clusters of the people living with disability. The albinism are not expected to be in a broad daylight, they must be in a shade. Those that are physically challenged must be with wheelchairs. We have provided ramp for any polling unit that is in a classroom to be able, for those having physical challenge, to be able to access the polling unit where they will vote. These are conditions and these are measures we have put in place to ease voting in Nigeria. This current chairman of INEC has made a tremendous improvement in making all these provisions, and they're all in our extant laws, and they're all the laws guiding our electioneering process, which means election of this 2023 is going to be a different ballgame because it is only in Osun and the Ekiti state that we have used this our law to conduct election. And you saw the outcome of the election in Osun state. Even though there was vote buying, people did not care about those that are clamoring for people to collect money and shortchange their wishes. They didn't care. After collecting the money, they still voted where they want to vote. That is why I'm advising Nigerians to, if you want to collect the money, collect. But the proper thing to do is don't collect the money and don't adhere to the instructions because it is evil. It's going to send the country back again into doldrums. If we want a change, and the change must come, because we're going to use the PVC to effect a change in Nigeria. Thank you.
So in summary, sir, what do you have to tell our viewers?
You collect your PVC, nobody going to vote in proxy, there is nobody going to vote outside, there is no electronic voting, online voting. You must meet the presiding officer to be attested by the beavers and as well be issued with the ballot paper. You go to the polling booth and cast your votes. Don't listen to any people anybody that is saying that is going to give you money to vote, or don't listen to anybody that is giving you an oath to take before voting. Even if you take the oath, still vote your choice, nothing will happen. Nothing will happen.
Even if you collect the money, you're not to collect the money. But even if you collect the money, still vote your choice. Don't sell your conscience for the little you will get today. 4 years, it's not something you should just give up for just change. So, Ms. Helen, what do you have to tell our viewers in conclusion?
Okay, thank you. The National Orientation Agency has been on ground and has actually done its duties by arousing and reawakening the consciousness of Nigeria to their political rights and privileges, duties and obligations. Now, having done that, is now the responsibility of the citizens to go out there to pick their change. Over the years, we've had slogans like "Change begins with me," and "Do the right thing, transform Nigeria." These are part of it. Change begins with you. The change you can make is by you going out there to pick your PVC, and then you can bring about the desired change you want in the society by casting. Your PVC is your Lego tool. If you do not have your PVC, you are self-disenfranchising yourself and you are self-marginalizing yourself. So go out there, pick your PVC. That is the right thing to do, and effect the change, and your voice will be heard. Just one vote, and it makes a whole lot of meaning. If everybody decides to sit down, then nothing happens. So we have to effect the change we want in this society by going out there to vote. And you cannot vote if you do not have the legal tool to do that.
Thank you very much, Mr. Frank. In conclusion, what do you have to tell our viewers?
Well, I want to say that if you have registered without collecting your voter's card, please go and get it. Don't stay idle. Don't be part of those that will run this country backward. We are suffering, whether you believe it or not. We need to make a change using our voter's card. Again, don't think also that it is on the day of the election that you go and collect your voter's card. It's not true. You are going to cause violence if you go there to begin to ask for your voter's card. Don't do that. Now is the time. You have the ample opportunity to go to where you are registered AGA, the world, and go and get your voter's card. Mind you, election is not war. Like all of us have said here, don't be part of those that will direct tension in this country in our election. Be part of those that will eschew anything called violence. Any act of causing confusion on the day of election or before the election, avoid it. Because our election is not synonymous with violence. Every year, violence in the election. No, now, citizens of this country must have a new orientation, a new consciousness, what we call resonance in terms of political activities in this country, so that it will metamorphose into good governance that will give us what we want. My concern as a citizen of this country is that let's learn from our mistakes and do that thing, even go and vote on the election. On the 25th of February is the presidential election and it's assembly. And on the 11th of March is the governorship and the assembly. Don't sit on the fence so you don't blame what you believe in this country, blame game. No blame game will save you from maladministration. God bless you.
Thank you very much. When you talk about election, we think INEC. So our INEC representative, Mr. Mark Osolo, said he still has something to say. So.
Yes, those that applied online to work with us during the elections should proceed to the local government areas of where our offices are situated to meet with the electoral officers for screening. Then those that are going to work as SPOs that applied online should hold on and keep watch that we are going to inform them of where to meet us for their own screening. If we screen you, then we'll be able to train you. All those that applied will be attended to in lieu of screening you to be trained for working with us during the elections proper.
Thank you very much, sir. So viewers, you've all heard them. It's a collective effort. This election is going to be a collective effort and reasoning. So if we must change the narrative, we must all get involved. If you want good leadership, you must all go out to vote. Like you heard Mr. ENE-AWAJI say, the blame game will not work after election. So it's better to go exercise your franchise and know that at least you did your own part. Thank you very much. We've come to the end of today's edition. And we want to give special appreciation to who it's due. We want to thank our executive producer, Dr. Garba Abari, the Director General, National Orientation Agency. We would also want to thank the producer, Barrister Young Ayo Terminal, State Director, National Orientation Agency, Rivers State. We would want to thank the Director of Studio, who doubles as the HOD ICT Department, National Orientation Agency, Rivers State. Thank you very much, sir. We also want to thank his able assistant, Mrs. Ifoma Olidigwe, who is seated by his side, making sure that we stream well. Thank you very much, ma. We appreciate you, ma. It will not be complete without thanking our guests. Thank you very much, sir, for coming. We want to thank you for always obliging every time we invite you. Thank you very much, sir. We also want to thank our very own Mrs. Helen. Thank you very much for being in the studio, ma. Thank you very much for coming. With these viewers, we want to wrap up for today. Do well to join us in the next edition. and try to also share this so those who were not able to stream live with us will also get this information. It's very important. It's a thing of choosing who leads us for the next 4 years. Until next week, same time, same day, I remain Patience Joseph.